Southwest Florida, welcome back to Lee Pitts Live. And of course, when you see this setting right here, I'm at Mount Hermon Ministries, where I've been for the last 6 months or so. I got into, Pastor Glover recently hired me. I got a full-time job here, and First Lady, and they taking care of me. I come out here every other month, and they set, and it's always like so interesting to be able to come out here, because we've been dealing with a lot of very important issues in the community from a clergy perspective. And tonight we'll get a chance to talk to the mayoral candidates who are running for the mayor of Fort Myers, and they are both here right now. It's not going to be a debate, but we'll get a chance to get their positions on things. We got Councilman Kevin Anderson, and who's a candidate for the mayor of Fort Myers, and Jacquelyn McMiller, side by side on Lee Pitts Live. It had to eventually happen. Good to get both of you here. The good thing about it is I know both of you. And you both, when you talk throughout the community, people have good things to say about both of you. And it makes a really interesting race. It's almost like having two great candidates in the process. And you, either way, there's a good chance you're going to win, we being the community. So I'll just say that. You guys both are very popular, and particularly we're here in the Dunbar community. You're both very popular in the community and aware of what's going on. So let's just kind of talk about, first of all, tonight we have a forum here that's going to be mainly questions are going to come from the public, and they're going to come from some pastors in the community, some clergy members. Let's talk about when I'll start with you for fairness. I'm just going back and forth. When you first got the phone call or the email or whatever this was type of event was going to take place here in Dunbar at Mount Hermon Ministry, what was your early thoughts about that?
I thought it was a really great idea. It's giving the both of us an opportunity to get together, exchange ideas, see where we agree, but also some of the items where we disagree. Okay. And that's what it's all about. That's democracy, and how we're going to come together, and be able to solve that. And
Kevin?
I thought it was fantastic. I mean, I was excited. I relish any opportunity to get before any group anywhere in the city, whether it's a perceived friendly group or unfriendly group. It doesn't matter to me. I want to represent all people, and so I look for every opportunity to do so. Now,
I want to try to be different than all these standard questions you guys have been getting. Did you two know each other before running for mayor? Let's start with you, Kevin. Did you know Jacquelyn?
Not that I know of. Right. I mean, our paths may have crossed at some time, but...
And
I knew Kevin only because of the fact he was a councilman. Right. And we had met at our paths crossed at a few events, but necessarily knowing him as a man, I did not.
That's dynamic. That's some interesting dynamics. Now, what have you, Kevin, learned? Just one thing that you learned about Jacquelyn since you guys have been like in the same, on all these different panels discussing. What's one thing you've learned about her?
She's very driven and committed to what she believes in.
What have you learned about Councilman Anderson?
That he has tenacity of a bull. He's strong, and he believes in what he stands for.
I think based on what you guys are saying, that running against each other is making both of you stronger and better campaigners, or not taking anyone for granted. Is that fair to say? Go you this time.
Absolutely. I think the thing about it is whenever you are, when I had my corporation and running a corporation, you have to work with so many different people, not only different ethnicities, but different learning types as well, different personalities. So it gives you an opportunity to hone those skills in leadership, as I was, and knowing how to relate to each one of those. Every type of personality, how to speak to a person, having that linguistic competency in speaking to anyone of whatever education level there may be. So it was a really great training for me, being a corporate owner and dealing with the public, even in social services.
Okay. And Kevin?
Well, during my time in the Army and on the police department, then my 15 years in a very competitive private sector, and my last 2 years on the council, I've learned that which doesn't kill you only serves to make you stronger.
I see. But I think when you just named you went through your background, you didn't mention law enforcement. You said military?
Yeah, in the Fort Myers Police Department.
Wait, when you said the private sector, you meant police?
No, the private sector was 15 years with Chico's.
Okay. That's after law enforcement?
After I retired, yes.
Yeah, I hear, and I know you knew me when you were a law enforcement officer, but I didn't really know you. Tell me, what was your ranking? You had been with the city of Fort Myers for quite some time. You come like a captain or something like that. I don't know how that works.
Almost made chief.
Okay, that would be a sergeant.
So I started as an officer, became a detective, then a sergeant, lieutenant, captain, and wound up as a major.
Right, because when I first came to know you, you said, "Hey, Lee, I've known you for many years." I mean that's I was in this kind of a public figure.
Well,
I had,
with the stars and teaching kids how to swim.
Right. So, I would always see a bunch of officers all the time, and I always had a good relationship there. I just wanted to make sure you hadn't been doing like a background check on me. Now, as we're sitting here, it's about a week before the election, a little bit less. You guys have all probably been monitoring what you've been hearing about the mail-in, the polls. It seems like, to me on my end, it seems like it's a lot of people voting, mailing in, it's a lot of enthusiasm. I want to get your perspective if you feel the same way. I'll start with you, Kevin.
I think the last time I checked, 54% of the voters had voted, which is good. And I expect that number to continue to climb up and through Tuesday.
How about yourself?
Well, I think that's about right. About 54% of the voters has voted. But I also think that we have several more days left for early voting. People really need to understand that at this point, I would not mail in my ballot, even though we were encouraging everyone to mail in ballots. But due to the mail and this just being right around the corner, November 3rd, it just makes sense to take your ballot down to the polling places and turn it in. And then also is going to be important that you check it to make sure that it has been documented that it's been received. And you can actually go on lee.vote to do that.
Okay. When you hear or feel that 54% of the people have voted, you see there's a lot of enthusiasm, as it relates to your campaign. Do you feel that that's good for you, or that that's good for your opponent, or you just don't really know? What's your thoughts?
Well, I think it's good overall because so many people voted in August, more so than we ever thought, probably within the last 10 years, considering the number of people that came out and voted. So I just think that we need to be careful and not become complacent, that our vote doesn't count. One vote. Hillary won this in 2018 with by 8 points. So if you don't vote, it's not going to count. You can guarantee. However, if you take the time in, if you're registered and you're registered to vote, you actually want to go in, ensure that you take advantage of your right to vote. And that's the only way change is going to come.
Now, Kevin, you've run for office before, so you kind of know the drill. When you see this large turnout so far, how do you feel that reflects on your chances of winning? Do you think that's better for you, more people going to the polls for you, or whatever?
Well, first of all, I'm excited by the high turnout. I think that's a good thing for the community. I never relax until the votes are in and counted. It's hard to gauge.
Okay.
You can feel good about it and believe what you want to believe, but until the votes are counted, you don't know. I've always taken the attitude in all the races I've been in.
William, take that shot of all three of us. Go ahead.
If it's the path I'm supposed to be on, God's going to clear the way. If it's not the path, He'll put me on a different path.
Okay. So finally, I want to say to both of you, thanks for being a good sport and coming out. We're going to be moving towards the candidate forum. and I've gotten my wrap-up signal. I didn't ask you guys any political questions, really, because I just wanted to do something differently. And up there, you guys get to address some issues as it relates to the city of Fort Myers. And good luck to both of you.
Thank you, Lee.
Thank you very much.
As the saying goes on this particular show, for those who say it can't be done, they're usually interrupted by those like these mayoral candidates who are doing it right here on Lee Pitts Live on Fox 4. We'll be back after the forum to talk to some more people.
Lee Pitts Live is a Lee Pitts Enterprise production.
Hello, Southwest Florida. Thanks for watching Lee Pitts Live. Of course, I'm Lee Pitts. I hope you enjoy that particular show. But you can always catch us here on YouTube. Just click on the subscribe button down there. That way you can get your Lee Pitts Live on demand when you want it and how you want it. We also encourage you to watch our show on Fox 4 and connect with us on all our social media platforms. Just type in Lee Pitts Live.